Welcome to Chris and Carlette Live, a podcast about life, love, and overcoming obstacles. Each week, we discuss the good, the bad, and the indifferent of life's interruptions. Now, here's your host, Chris and Carlette.
Keep believing, don't go stressing, keep it moving. God, we're resting, here to help you, here to bless you. With God on our side, CNC Life.
There we go.
We are here.
We are here.
And I love that you all are coming in. I see you.
Us.
This is us. Chris and Carlette Live.
Chris and Carlette Live.
This is show number 39. Guys, we've been going since the very first Monday.
39.
Now, see how long you've been practicing that. That's all I want to know.
No, yo hablas español.
Poquito.
Poquito.
Okay. All right. So listen, keep coming in, keep sharing. I see that you're sharing as you come in, and we so appreciate that. Also, if you're on YouTube, you can share it as well. So Chris and Carlette Live page on Facebook, Chris and Carlette Live page.
Straighten up your mic. Symmetry. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. There you go.
I was mid-sentence. I was on a roll.
That just bothered me.
I'm sorry.
Okay, what were you about to say, Chris and Carlette?
So anyway, Chris and Carlette Live page on Facebook and YouTube. Please like and subscribe and share. We have great news on tonight. We have a great guest on tonight talking about college planning and finances. And we are excited. Not only are we ones that are sharing in this, guess what? We are experiencing it. So we told you, Yes. We told you that we were going to take you on this journey with us. We have a senior in high school, and we were going to share this with you every step of the way. As we gain knowledge, you will gain it also. Listen, we can bring you to the water. We can't make you drink, but listen, we're going to make you thirsty.
Yes.
So, hey.
Yes. What happened today in the news?
What part didn't happen?
Let's see. I heard that Pfizer came out with a new, their experimental drug, our trial drug, where I don't know how many times you take it, but it's a pill that is to stop you, or to, what's the word I'm looking for?
You're talking about like a preventative type?
Yeah, a preventative pill, like so you won't get COVID.
Okay, that's lovely. I have no comment. I mean, that's everything that comes out now is controversial. It really is. Listen, to your own beliefs, to your own whatever you want to do, just use wisdom and whatever.
I found out that Biden took the booster shot
he did.
today.
Yes, he did. He's trying to lead by example. So, all the best to him. Hope his body takes it well, and he's all right. He does fit the criteria. He is over 65, and so hey,
I believe I can fly.
No.
I believe I can touch the sky.
I know you do.
Every night.
He said getting bad echo on his end.
Who was that?
Tony.
Okay.
So
you know what? That's because I need to write down a process at SOP.
So who told you to do that? I just want to put that out there. Who told you to do that? Like, we're in week 39. We started this January 4th.
I think I did. I think so.
I want to see you take credit for that. Okay, God bless America.
Yes. I got me a Red Rock.
Yes, yeah, that is strong. You cannot drink that fast. That is the ginger ale.
Pop it open here.
Okay.
Bam.
That is a ginger ale that I think it cures things. That's how strong that stuff is. Now, I love Vernors. That's a Michigan thing. Vernors is the best. We grew up saying if you bought it. Okay, so our family, we have a large family reunion. Our family reunion is so large that we have.
How large is your family?
We have a governing body for our family reunions. We are represented in 5 states: Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Arkansas, and Wisconsin.
Wow.
So every time we go to Michigan, we mainly go to Pontiac, and and we may do some things in Detroit. but everybody leaves there at least with a couple of cases of Verner's, because we are of the belief if you get it in Michigan, it tastes better. And I think it does. I think it's stronger. I think it's better. And so, but, you know, we got a native of Michigan on tonight.
Yes.
But we will get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
Evan said something funny this week. Do you have that email?
Evan says something funny every day.
He
told me today. Oh, just so you know, he said when he gets all his money, because he said, I'm going to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, yes, you are. He said, I'm going to buy you and Daddy your own massage chairs.
Wow.
And they cost $5,000 a piece.
How does he know about massage chairs?
He was watching stuff about what the wealthy buy. He found that on his own today.
And so you're going to say that with Dr. Isaac Sparks listening.
Oh.
You're going to say that with Dr. Sparks.
Okay.
That's just giving him more ammunition.
Yes, I know. But we love Dr. Sparks.
Okay.
Who is the education director for our church, the Life Church of Atlanta, under Dr. Terrence Merritt, is our pastor. So, yeah, he said that. So I was like, you know, see, he's already got started in the comments. I can't even do it. He said it's great to be a Florida Gator. That's what he said.
What wealthy buy?
Yeah, what the wealthy buy.
I did know somebody. Prophet Bernard Jordan carries around his own masseuse whenever he travels.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. I'm
So-
sure they're on payroll.
Yes,
Mhm.
most definitely.
There you go. I mean, if you can do that, you can afford it. Hey,
Yes. But what did he say, though, the other day?
you're asking me.
Yes, you text someone
I did.
about,
Oh, what he just blurted out in class?
yes.
You know, our children, let me tell you something. Children learn by what they see. So what they see a husband and wife interacting, okay? You know, they do, you know. So there was a young lady in his class that, you know, he's in virtual school with the school district, and it just came out of nowhere. Now, he had told me how he felt about this young lady, but I didn't know he was going to say it in the middle of instruction in the virtual class. And he just says, I have a crush in the middle of the class. Teachers present. All the students are present. I have a crush on blankety blank. The little girl's mouth just dropped, and along with a couple of other classmates. And the teacher said, now, Evan, she had to keep it together. We're not talking about that right now. You see how you've made these young ladies' mouth drop. And for some reason, I just thought about, he's acting like his father.
What?
You used to kiss your teacher in class.
I was called the Kissing Bandit.
You were called the Kissing Bandit.
Mm-hmm. That was third grade?
And he's in third grade.
Wow, history repeats itself.
Yeah, the next generation. So I'm just saying, listen, y'all be careful. Y'all pay attention to what y'all put in front of our children. So listen, we want anything else you need to
let's see what else happened interesting Saturday.
Oh yeah. So this weekend was College, Youth, and Young Adult Weekend.
So we went to the movies.
Sponsored by the church.
That was great. Great. Did we do something Friday? I can't remember.
Friday they had a conclave.
Did we do something Friday?
Did we do something?
Yes.
Yeah, we were cleaning up.
That's right, because we were going to come right back home to clean up after the show movie.
Right, but we did it Friday instead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was adamant that
Yeah.
your daughter and your son needed to
Okay.
clean up their room.
Okay.
When it's stuff like that, it's your daughter and your.
I get it. And I'm going to let them know you said this.
But when
Live.
they're good and,
Uh-huh.
hugging on daddy, then okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, here we go. It's 7:10.
Yeah. That's
And
a good
you
time.
want to introduce our
Yes, I do.
guest?
So our guest tonight, of course, our topic tonight was college planning and finances. Or college finances and planning, however we said that. And so the thing about it is I met this person by way of Facebook in a way, indirectly. So I saw on Facebook, and it was an advertisement that caught me. It was like, do you believe, it was something to the fact of, do you believe, or why you don't have to use your personal money, you think you're making too much, that you cannot get funding for your child, and all these opportunities. And it was like, wow, that's real, and how to, it was just those, those questions that get you to click, that get you to say, let me look into this, or find out more, or sign up now. And so I did. And it was an opportunity to register for a free 90-minute webinar about college financing and planning. And so I did it. I was listening to it. It was virtual. This man was talking, and he said some stuff that literally opened my eyes, and it allowed me to think even broader for our son as far as opportunities. You know how you can have some things, preconceived notions in your mind about college and what you think they should and should not do. Times have changed. Okay, listen, I graduated with my first degree in 1998, the second one in 2006. And it's just like, all right, things have changed since then. Finances, opportunities, scholarships. And the thing about it, every generation is supposed to do better. Okay, every generation is supposed to do better. The way, I feel the Lord has set, he would desire his people to do. Okay. So, listen to this webinar, and as a gift to us, for if you lasted to the end, you were gifted a free 1-hour consultation, personal consultation with Mr. Tony Devecht, who is our guest tonight, to talk one-on-one, to say, this is what we have, this is what we did, and how they could help you, or if their program would fit for you. And so I would like to introduce.
Before you do that,
okay,
people might see the Morehouse banner. So that's all because of what yesterday.
Happened. Yes,
we had
the college youth and weekend.
Yeah, so they had Morehouse had a booth, and they gave us one of these. And
after we spoke to our son, they talked to our son about Morehouse. It was a very nice conversation with Mr. Michael Gum, who was the admissions representative, and had a brief conversation. We gave him a quick rundown, and he was very excited to meet Christian, and we're going to talk further. And I was going to mention that later, because how this ties in with college planning and financial services. So,
all right, without
further ado, please join us to welcome Mr. Tony Devecht.
See if I can do this all at one time.
Okay, let's see.
There he is.
There he is.
Mr. Tony. Hold on.
Hold on, Tony.
There we go.
There we go. Yes, there we go.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I'm very excited to share with your listeners everything I know about college planning and financial aid. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Give us the name of your company, the proper name, because I know I butchered it.
The name of our company is College Planning Advisors.
Okay.
And we have another, my daughter actually started another company called collegestrategy.org, which I'd like to talk about a little bit later.
Okay. Awesome. And I was going to mention that, but I was like, I'll wait and I'll let him do that, because it's like, it was like opportunity after opportunity. Let me tell you all, when I had my one-on-one with him, within 10 minutes, we were just having a great experience. My husband was on the phone, and we were sharing a lot in what we've done with our son so far, and he was just a wealth of knowledge. And so we're just happy to have these services in our lives and with our son. And we're already on meeting number, I know we just did meeting number 3 yesterday, either 2 or 3 yesterday, but each meeting is a lot getting accomplished. And even did a follow-up call with our advisor, and her name is Lori, and it's a wonderful thing. So, okay, so starting off, if you want to just start telling us about how you got here, how you got to this company, your history, how was this thing birthed with you?
Well, it's a long, winding road.
Okay.
And the good Lord had his hand in every turn. Let me just tell you that. I was retired about 11 years ago. I was newly retired at the age of 48.
Okay.
And my son, my oldest, attended the college that my wife works at here in Michigan.
Okay.
So the bonus we got was because she worked there, we got half off the cost of attendance for him.
Wow.
That was pretty painless. My daughter, my youngest, Hannah, uh, when she was a junior, I had just newly retired, and I called the high school counseling office. Chris, yeah, what a jokester! I love it.
If I can get this on.
Let's see. What is he? Oh my God.
So I called down to the counseling office, and I told them I was newly retired and quote unquote much poorer than I had been while I was working. And they said, well, come on down to the college planning night. And so I went down and I sat through an hour and a half of just 150 slides on just how to fill out the financial aid form.
Oh wow.
Carlette, I'd rather have a root canal than go through that again.
Oh no.
Uh, After an hour and a half, the principal got up on stage and she looked around the audience and she said, now I can see it in you parents' faces. You're really freaked out about how to pay for this. Trust me, go home, fill out this form, and you will be all set.
Mm.
So the next day I was filling that form out, and crazy thing happened. I got a phone call from a Michigan State trooper letting me know that my daughter Hannah was one of 5 young ladies involved in a horrific rollover accident.
Wow.
Oh wow.
3 of the young ladies were ejected.
Oh my God.
All of the young ladies survived, but and this is where God came in. He uses bad things, I believe, quite often for good.
Okay.
Most of the time for good. Uh, Obviously, I was very freaked out. That's not a phone call that any parent wants to get.
Right.
But I immediately went from looking at this form, and by the way, my daughter was looking at North and South Carolina, both $40,000 a year schools. And having sat through and did a dry run on that financial aid form,
Mm-hmm.
my out-of-pocket expense, according to them, went from $40,000 a year to $38,600.
Mm.
And that screen had just popped up when the phone rang, and this trooper explained that my daughter was in this accident. And you guys, I immediately went from wondering how I was going to pay for my daughter's education to hoping I still had to.
Wow.
Wow.
Uh, and so, because that accident was so horrendous, it made national news because all the young ladies survived.
Wow.
And oddly enough, a gentleman that I've known my whole life called me up, recognized Hannah's last name, called me up to see how Hannah was doing. And I explained to him that she was all right. And then he asked that question, what's Hannah's plan for college?
Mm.
Boy, did I unload on him.
Oh wow.
I shared with him everything I'm telling you now. And on the other end of the phone, I hear him laughing. And I thought, this is not funny. And he said, wait a minute, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the irony here. Do you know what I do for a living? He went on to tell me that he was a professional college planner.
Oh
You
wow.
guys, 12 years ago, I didn't even know that existed.
Okay.
And he begged me to bring Hannah in when she was feeling up to it to meet with him. Now, Hannah was a very high achieving academic,
Okay.
4.2 plus GPA, and number 6 in her class of over 600 students.
Wow.
But the problem was, and my plan, quite frankly, I'm ashamed to admit this, but my plan was Hannah was so smart, the colleges were just going to throw their checkbooks at her.
Hmm.
Only one problem, it wasn't happening. I didn't understand why until I met with this gentleman. She took the ACT test 4 times, scored a 28 all 4 times.
Oh wow.
We enrolled her in this process. They test prepped her for 2 more tests. She went from a 28 to a 31, and then a 31 to a 34. And because of that, my out-of-pocket expense for South Carolina went from $40,000 a year to $7,800 per year.
Wow.
Now, there was a lot of negotiation that happened, which was something else I was not aware of. I didn't know you can negotiate with colleges. It was all new to me. But as a result, I was telling anybody who would listen, excuse me, it's allergy season here in Michigan.
Yes.
I understand.
I was telling anybody who would listen, hey, you got to go see these folks. And incredibly, this gentleman started trying to recruit me out of retirement, and I'm here talking to you so you can see he was successful.
Right.
The real irony here is 4 years ago, I ended up taking over the company, his company, and my daughter came on, that same young lady, came to work with me. And that has been just an absolute treasure to be able to work with your daughter. So that's kind of the road I came down. And, you know, the reason that I got into this is for the first half hour, when I got that phone call letting me know that our out-of-pocket expense went from 40,000 to 7,800. I think I had Permagrin. In fact, my wife told me I had Permagrin for the first hour. And then she said, I'm pretty sure I could see steam coming out of your ears.
Oh, wow.
And so my elevator speech, people ask me all the time, why in the world did you come out of retirement to do this? I tell them I can give you 128,000 reasons, all with dollar signs on the front of them. That's how much I almost overpaid for Hannah's education.
Wow.
And I could not, in good conscience, sit back and watch the colleges take advantage of families to that extent.
Okay. Now you just said something. How do they take advantage? How do the colleges take advantage of the parents with the financing?
In many different ways. Number one, they want your child to fill out the financial aid forms, and that brings up a couple questions. Who in the world wants their kids all up in their financial business? If you let your child fill this form out, it's going to go in wrong. That's what they want. They're not in a hurry to give away money.
That makes sense.
One of the things that, if your listeners don't hear anything else that I share with them tonight, I want them to hear this. College is big business. If you don't treat it like big business, you're going to get run under.
That's true.
Okay. All right. So, all right.
So let me just share with you my mission and my goal. You guys, I don't need to work, and I don't say that to brag. I'm doing this because I love doing what I'm doing. It's making a huge impact. And my goal, our goal as a team, is to make the dream of college or trade or tech school a reality for as many young people as we can. There is a way to afford this. It's just got to be, it's got to be finessed. There's a certain way to go through this, as you guys found out.
Right.
And it's a very direct and very focused approach that we take. We do ACT prep, SAT prep. We do a deep dive in career counseling. I want to throw a couple stats at you guys and your listeners. Do you know that 4 out of every 10 students who enroll in college drop out after their sophomore year?
Oh, wow.
Because mom and dad ran out of money or they couldn't get any more loans. That is not the way to go about it. One other stat. Do you guys know how long it takes to get a 4-year degree on average?
5 years.
6 years.
Chris, you win.
Wow.
6 years for a 4-year degree. That's because students show up on the doorstep of the college without any clue what they want to study. They're going to go and explore. Well, Chris and Carlette, when we were youngsters, college was inexpensive enough that we could explore. That's no longer the case.
Mm-hmm.
If you send your child in to explore, you're going to go deep into debt. They're going to go 2 years longer than they need to. And most of those families that I just shared those stats with you, they approach this with no plan, or worse, they get advice from other parents that is not the best advice for them. I've met with thousands of families, and I've never met one family exactly like another in every regard.
Okay.
Financial, family dynamic. But our goal through this whole process is to find the best fit for each of our client students, the best fit, college fit, for the least amount of out-of-pocket expense to the family or debt to the student or family, without touching your retirement. Any family that I work with, I will not work with them if they even consider putting their retirement at risk. You don't need to do that. And then finally, we do that without changing the family's lifestyle. So no ramen noodle diets.
Okay, so all right. I'll now everything you just said, I'm gonna kind of use us as the example, okay?
Sure.
But I'm not telling all my business, okay? So, what we've accomplished so far in just, I want to say it's been 2 phone calls. Lori has met with Christian and I. First, oh, you know what? It's been 3. She first met with Chris and I and wanted to get our opinion, our feedback on our son, who he was from a parent perspective. That was a wonderful conversation. Then she met with him and him and I, okay? And so after that, we discussed, she went right into career planning. Who are you? What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Okay, what major do you have in mind? Why is that? She didn't take stuff at face value. She took it and then began to dig more. And then she had him to do a 4-part assessment. And the results we got out of it was a little surprising. What his major, what he's picked so far is cybersecurity. So I'm glad that was at the top with the assessment. But also up there was like healthcare practitioner. I'm like, oh, he doesn't even like the sight of blood. So it was something else. And then military was like at 0%, which he's looking at that option as well. So it was very very intense. It was very detail oriented, and the results was amazing. The next thing, she had him after the first visit to start with his SAT prep. And he is to practice on it for 1 hour a day. And he's been doing that and to strengthen his skills. So when he takes it in about another 6 weeks, then, we are expecting great scores. Then the next thing, okay, tell us all the schools you're thinking about going to. So we developed that list, and how she brought to us even today, I want you to look at this school. I found this school because it's very strong with the major. Right here in Georgia, never heard of it. But I went to their website and I like what I was seeing. Okay, so the other thing is, I just like how she is helping us to avoid mistakes, which brings me to my next question. What are the common mistakes with college financing? And I know you've already said people looking at their retirement, because, there's the fear, time goes fast. It's kind of like, I remember the story you said that when you had found out your wife was pregnant, you said something to the fact of, oh, you started thinking about college, and your wife said, oh, we got 18 years. Let me tell you all, those years go fast.
Yes, they do.
They go so fast. I mean, and you look, and then when it's time, you look back, you're like, okay, did I plan for this moment? Some people plan, some people can't plan. So let's talk about that.
Sure. So the most common mistakes are that I run into is the parents will hear advice from usually other parents or sometimes even the high school counselor, and they'll say, don't fill out that financial aid form. You make too much money. I don't care if you make $1 million a year. If you don't fill that form out, you may not get a look at any merit-based financial aid because some of these colleges use that same form to determine if this student is merit material.
Wow.
So always fill the form out. Always fill it out. The other mistakes that people make are not understanding that you can negotiate with the colleges. College is big business. And I think one of the, as I said earlier, one of the biggest mistakes we see is parents not having a plan and believing the counselors, whether it be high school or college, and they'll tell you, hey, fill this form out. You're going to be all set. You can just take these plus loans. My plans don't call for any plus loans, Carlette, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I won't let you touch those
And guys,
because
he's
there's
talking about
no getting out of them.
he's talking about the Parent Plus loan.
The
And
parent loan of undergraduate student. Correct.
yes, and talk about that real quick, specifically that one.
So not to gross your listeners out, but I have a name for those loans that people tend to remember.
Mm-hmm.
I call them cockroach loans
Okay.
because they're worse than cockroaches. You can't kill them and you can't make them go away.
Oh my.
These are loans that the parent and the parents alone take on. They're not, they're led to believe that they're co-signing for their student. They are not. You as the parent and you alone are on the hook for repayment of these loans. They're non-dischargeable in bankruptcy. And if you die before that loan is repaid, your estate will repay the loan.
Mm.
The problem with those loans is I have seen in the 10 years I've been doing this, those loans are the number one wrecking ball to parents' retirement programs because the lenders are so aggressive. They know that there's no way out for you. They'll just keep coming until you do something crazy, like go raid your 401k or your 403b and unload that without understanding the tax implications. So they unload their 401k, pay the lender off, and next year you got the IRS on your doorstep because they want their cut of the 401k. That makes
Okay.
sense?
That it makes a lot of sense. So
So we avoid those at all costs.
okay. So we got the mistake. So far mistakes, the children filling out the FAFSA.
Correct.
We have the Parent Plus loan that is offered and seem like the way to go that will stay with you beyond the grave. Then we have the mistake of thinking I have time. Then we have, tell me, what are your thoughts about the 529?
My thoughts on the 529, I always tell parents, there's never a bad way to save for college, but there are better ways than the 529 to do that. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds tonight on that
Gotcha.
because, as you know, I practiced financial planning for over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention I'm happily retired from that?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
So as you guys know, I work with a team of certified fiduciary college funding advisors. And I believe you guys have met yours or he's reached out to you guys.
Right.
Those folks know all the ins and outs and can counsel your listeners on the best ways to save for college.
Okay.
If you have a 529, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but there's strategies for how to use those that would be very beneficial to the student.
Okay. All right. So One of the things I heard when I was on the 90-minute webinar, and I'm going to say this, everybody, I have already put in the link how you can get on this 90-minute webinar. I've already put it in the chat, in the comments, and I'm going to keep putting it in. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it again right now.
And the phone lines are open as well. If you have any phone calls or questions for Tony, 231-262-5483.
And call in with your questions. The phone lines are open, and you can also put your questions in the comment. We're looking in the comments if you have any questions or anything that's on your mind. But one of the things in the 90-minute, which again I have just put in the link again, Joy Sloan said, "Thank you so much for this information." She's the myth about private college versus public college funding. That was something that made my mouth drop.
So let me give you an example. I'll use my daughter. She was accepted to U of M, a very hard school to get into, as you guys know, University of Michigan. They gave her a whopping $1,800 a year for merit-based financial aid off the $30,000 bill. She was also accepted into several other schools. One of those schools was Loyola in Chicago. Loyola is about a $58,000 a year school versus U of M at 30. She could have attended Loyola for half the cost out of pocket that she would have had to pay at U of M. So half the cost of U of M for a $57,000 a year school. And the reason for that, Carlette and Chris, is because those private universities, they don't have their hands tied legislatively by the federal government. If you're a D1, Division I athlete, and you want to go to Michigan State, U of M, Indiana University, your alma mater.
Yes.
You're going to pay the going freight.
Yeah.
If you're a D1 athlete, you'll probably get a full ride.
Wow.
I think that stinks, but it is what it is. We have to deal with what the cards were dealt. So those private universities don't have their hands tied. They have huge endowment funds that they can dip into if they really want a student to come to their school. We know how to leverage that student's strengths to get them to step up and give them a very good offer.
Okay. So I'm glad you said that. So because when I was on the webinar and this came up, that was something in my head that I didn't think about private school for Christian, because in my head, the funding, lack of funding or not enough, and that he could get more at the public versus the private. And when you said that, using your daughter as the example, that helped me. That helped me say, okay, maybe we need to look at that more, or we will look at that more than the public side. Now I'm about to go somewhere, Tony. That it came to me.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
All right. I want to talk HSBCU.
Sure.
I mean, HBCU. Okay. HBCU standing, meaning historically black colleges and universities. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you found, in your line of work, because I'm sure you've dealt with students who going to HBCUs.
Oh, yeah.
What about the funding opportunities with that?
I think they're even more generous.
Okay.
Is what I've seen.
Okay. So more generous than, as what you would say, a PWI, predominantly white institution?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all heard it. You heard it here. Now see that, I'm just going to tell you, I didn't think that it was like that.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So how is that when, you look at, do they get like subsidy from the government, or like, because I don't know how do they can afford to, because it seems like when you talk about a historically black university, college or university, they're not bringing as much as, let's say, Indiana University.
So to answer your question, Chris, HBCUs, they're the folks that attend, the alumnus,
Yes.
are among the most generous in
True.
giving back to those colleges of any group I have ever seen.
Wow.
And that's the answer to your question.
Gotcha.
It's
Wow.
That makes
generosity.
sense.
Generosity.
Yeah.
Giving back. That's good.
Amen.
And you know what? It also blesses me when you've seen these speakers come in that are wealthy, and they say,
Yeah.
okay, all these graduating seniors, whatever the balances are, wipe it out. I'm paying for it. That is a wonderful sign of generosity. Now, some may say,
Absolutely.
oh, it's a tax write-off. I don't care if it is. They did it.
Yeah.
They did it. And it's starting, if you want to call it, now you have the whole copycat effect because other people are doing it now. And that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. And somebody put in Terrence Hall, giving is the key still. Yeah, it still is. It still is, because I promise you, they're going to get it back. They will get back, because I look at it as you seeded into those people. You did. You planted into them in wiping out their debt. The people, that do that. So, all right. So,
Well,
go ahead.
I'll tell you this. I got into this 10 years ago, not because I had to, but because I really wanted to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
We we try to give away faster than we receive, and it's just impossible.
Wow.
So I totally agree. What you do comes back. Well, it's biblical. It comes
It
back.
is.
Right.
It is biblical, and it's a principle. Let me tell you something. It's a principle, so you don't even have to believe in God.
How about that?
It's a principle. Yes,
know.
I've heard it. It is like it's universal. All right, so moving on is just, but I would tell you this. Go ahead.
I want to address. I'm just assuming that one of your questions that from your listeners is going to be, how much does he charge for his services?
I was going to get to that, but hold on.
Okay.
I was going to get to that. Hold on. Because I want you to kind of roll it all out when we get to that part about your company.
Sure.
What is the best advice that you would give a parent or a student where to start looking first? And wait, no, don't answer that, because that goes into your company. Okay, you know what? Let's go there. Let's talk about your company. What you offer, and what you offer, the plan A, and then Hannah's plan. Let's do it like that. And then you can talk.
So great. Thank you. Our full price package for the first student is $3,495. And for anybody that fell out of their chair, hang on, climb back up in your chair. The second student is deeply discounted to $1,500. For that, they get SAT, ACT prep, very intense career counseling. I challenge my client students and their counselors to come up with a total of 3 careers that they're super excited about. And then from there, we generate a college search. The colleges that show up need to offer programs for all 3 of those careers, so that not if, but when they change their mind, because 70% of students change their mind at least 3 times in a 4-year undergrad study.
Yeah.
So we plan for not if, but rather when, and what is it most likely going to be too. So when they do get to that college, when they change their mind, we don't have to change schools. That's where it gets really expensive. We can just change majors and not lose any time, credit, money, or go further into debt. Because as you guys know, I absolutely hate debt with a passion. So from that, we assist the client student with the applications. We review essays. We prepare all the financial aid forms on the family's behalf. I have to tell you, 30 years of business and finance, when the gentleman told me that they did that, I said, you should have led with that, because I'd have been out the door and wrote you a check. I couldn't wait to get that off my plate. It is super, super confusing and complex. So the final step in the student services is we maintain a huge database of all the students that we've worked with over the years. When they get their final award letter from the college, I misspoke. When they get their award letter, because nothing's final except death. When they get that award letter, I match it against what we've seen historically. And if it doesn't measure up, my wheelhouse, what I get to do is I get to go challenge the college and hold them accountable for their low award and get them to raise it up.
Okay. Now, when you challenge it, do you challenge it according to merit, according to, like you said, your other than, your historical facts of what they've done in the past or what they can do?
I challenge based on how we've packaged up that student. Quite frankly, we may have that student apply to a school where I know that student can get a full ride, but they have no intention of going there.
Wow.
I'm going to use that as leverage to get the chosen school to flip more money.
Wow.
Now that's real. That's real. The only other person I ever heard do that, I'll be honest, was my sister-in-law, who I've connected you with.
Good.
Yeah, she told me today. She sent you an email either yesterday or today. She told me that
Felicia.
today. Yes, Felicia. Yes. Yep. So because her program with their church is starting now with the college student, well, the seniors and also the ones, because they have 5. Their first one just graduated. The first 4 all full rides. The
Wow.
4th one, she told them, you need to give more money because it's an honor that my child is even at your school. So go find some more money. She did. And she said she got a call back an hour later. They found some more money. Seriously.
So to that point, Carlette, we coach our client students. We make them fully aware of what they bring to the table. And I'll share this example of my daughter. We marched in North Carolina and South Carolina, and she sat down with the dean, the head of the department, and she asked the first question, tell me why I should go to your school.
Wow.
They were blown away. They never get approached like that.
That's good.
Wow.
Most students say, well, what do I have to do to get into your school? And her approach was, tell me why I should come to your school.
Oh, wow.
And that's based on knowing what you bring to the table. If you know that you're highly marketable as a potential student, we coach them to lay it out there. Hey, here's my credentials. Let's not beat around the bush.
And you know what? I know that to be true because when Lori was going through the Common App with Christian and we got to the part about academics, honors, and, I was there with him helping to answer those questions. I was like, okay. She's like, okay, Mom. Oh, no, Christian, what about your honors? And I was like, okay. I started telling her, I said, okay, this one came in. We got 2 honor societies. She's like, yeah, bring them on. And then we had started talking about the community. Like, okay. And just the wording of it. And then she would turn around and say, okay, Christian, this is what you've done. Don't look at it as, oh, it was just this. And she's building him and letting him know even the more, this is your worth. This is the person we're putting and creating on paper that we're about to present to these schools, And so I can say, yes, that has started happening with us here on just call number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We spend a lot of time building the self-esteem of our clients and the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important when you're going in to do a formal tour to college.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very critical.
Mm.
So I want to go back to the full price package.
Okay, go back. Yes.
I've been doing this for almost 10 years. When my daughter came on with me, she is just on fire. She had a secondary education degree,
Mm-hmm.
and she helped me in a couple of live events, and came up afterwards and she said, "Dad, um, you're kind of teaching people." I said, "Well, yeah, I guess I am." And she says, "I think I'd rather teach adults than youngsters. I think I'd like to do what you're doing." So she came on, and about a year into it, she became as frustrated as I have been over the years, because I know, uh, number one, we've priced our full price package very competitively and I think fairly. But I know, and she knew, that there are a lot of families out there that they can't swing that kind of money,
Mm-hmm.
but they still need our help. And finally, it came to a head, and she came into my office and said, "We need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to figure out how to get this to every student out there that needs our help." And I challenged her to go figure out a way to do that. And Carlette, she came back, Chris and Carlette, she came back with a, um, a business model where we can take what we're doing with Your Christian, and instead of our counselor, Lori, working with Christian, Carlette and Chris, it would be you working with him.
Hmm.
You'd have all the same tools,
Mm-hmm.
but for 1/10 of the price, $495.
Wow.
The parent can take the student from A to Z all the way through the process.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, that being said, you have to have a pretty good working relationship with your child.
Right.
In other words,
Communication.
yeah, and my kids, I love them to death, but a lot of times I would talk and go in one ear and out the other.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a really good relationship with your student, then I would say that's a perfect product for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but being a proud papa, I'm just absolutely, I'm so proud of her for doing that. And I put her into business. This is her business. That's collegestrategy.org.
Okay.
If you go there, you'll see about a 30-minute video where she explains the whole software program and explains how to join. Now, I do want to let you know,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that we're exploring right now, because quite frankly, you guys, there's families out there that can't even swing the 495.
Mm-hmm.
And I've challenged her to come up with a subscription of $40 to $50 per month
Okay.
over a 12-month period to make it even more affordable.
That's good.
So I want to let your listeners that fell out of their chair when I gave the full price package,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to let them know that there is a plan B, a much more affordable plan B, if that's a fit for them.
Whatever, let me say this, whatever plan that a person picked, please, everyone, have the understanding this is an investment into your child's future. This is an investment into the legacy. Okay. I told me and my husband, we have said it, and it's in our heart and it's our plan, by the help of the Lord, that our children will not know what a loan is. They will not know any of that. And they're not going to come out of college with a debt. They're coming out free. I don't even want them to rent an apartment. They're going to come out as homeowners, whole 9 yards. Even if they got to come live with us, stack their money, and then go out and build the house or buy the previous. That is nothing wrong with setting those goals and doing what it takes. Do you have to sacrifice? Absolutely. It's worth it. You sacrifice now to play later. Okay. So,
Absolutely.
with saying that, with the $34.95 or the $1,500 or the $495, outside of the subscription, is there a payment plan with any of the first three?
There are.
Okay.
And I do that on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
When we meet, the first order of business is I need to learn everything about your student, their leadership qualities, their credentials. Then we go into, I take a very quick financial snapshot. I want to let your listeners know, I am a fiduciary. Anything that I learn in those meetings is kept absolutely confidential. I'm bound by that by law.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already figuring out what you got going on financially. And the last thing I want to do is overwhelm a family's financial picture. It's counter to what I'm trying to achieve. So if I can see that they're living hand to mouth, we're going to work out something where they can take an advantage of this, and we'll stretch the payments out. I have no problem doing that.
Absolutely. And let me go ahead.
And I don't charge interest when I do that.
Oh, that's amazing. Good.
Well,
now let me say this. I will tell. I did look you all up with the BBB, and you had an A+ rating. And so just to let everybody know that, did our research with this company, and I felt very safe with them. Like I said, 10 minutes within the company, we knew it was a God connect, and Tony even said it. We knew it was a God connect, and we're just thankful. I did want to, going back, Felicia has chimed in. She's listening. And
hello, Felicia.
Yeah, she said graduating debt-free is the goal, and God has been faithful, and he has. She says, sorry for going late at a soccer game. How has this worked when attending HBCU schools who seems to have less money available at times for their students? Or maybe I'm asking what his rapport is with those colleges. She said, if I missed this in the conversation already, I'm sorry. And I told her, very good, Terrence, I will answer that. I told her that you did already discuss that. And can you just go back just a little bit about that? Felicia, I said the same thing to him. I said, the stereotype I had, or the understanding I had in my head, that was less money in HBCUs versus, let's just say, a PWI. And so, Tony, can you say what your answer was to that question again?
Sure. What we found in working with the HBCUs is the alumni groups are very, very generous, much more so than predominantly white institutions, I've found. Now, that isn't the case across the board. You have to understand, in all of these questions and answers, there are 6,800 colleges and universities nationwide. So that it's not a one size fits all. You may go to one HBCU and at first glance, they're not giving you anything. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times what we find out is if we go back and appeal that award, mm-hmm. They do get much more generous with endowments.
Okay.
So we have found over time that the HBCUs are much more generous because of their alumni and endowments.
So alumni, keep it up. Keep it up, whatever school it is. Especially, it's an education. You see the end result. Your child came out a different person, a wonderful. You got a good deal at the end. The end result was amazing. Give back. Whatever plan you choose to give back with, I'm gonna tell you, with IU, As soon as you graduate, they give you about 6 months to breathe, and then the alumni start reaching out to you asking for some money. So, yeah, they
Not
do.
just IU, that's pretty much everywhere, Carlette.
Yeah, yeah. And see, Felicia said that. She said, yes, that's what we did. We appealed and got more money. Yep, she did.
Great.
Well, I told you what she said. She said, it's a privilege that my daughter's on your campus, so you need to find some money. That's what she said.
I love that.
Okay, so Terrence had the question, what age or grade should someone start this process?
Great question. So the short answer, and I'm not picking on anybody,
Okay.
but for young men, we'd like to see them start at the beginning of their sophomore year.
Okay.
And for young women, we like to see that start at the beginning of the junior year.
Really? And why is that?
Well, young women seem to have it together a little bit more mature.
Okay.
And we just need that extra time. Not in every case, but in a lot of cases, I think young men just have a lot more distractions.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. So what if the student is already enrolled? Say it's their sophomore year. Can they go back and renegotiate?
Or even their freshman year.
Yeah.
In their sophomore year of college?
Yeah, I mean, just sophomore, junior. Can they go back and renegotiate the tuition?
In certain cases, they can as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
As a sophomore, the only chance you have of getting more financial aid is on the need-based side,
Gotcha.
according to the income. And a lot of families fill that financial aid form out wrong. For instance, I had a meeting last week, that exact same scenario, Chris. Family with a college sophomore and a high school junior.
Oh, wow.
What we do is I'll go and review that financial aid form that was filed for the college sophomore. And if they enroll the high school junior, I take care of that older student complimentary.
Wow.
We want to make sure that their FAFSAs are filled out properly and they get every penny that they're entitled to on the need-based side and the merit-based side.
What about if they want to transfer?
That's a tough one. Easier done in the middle of the freshman year.
Gotcha.
We call those inline transfers. Something that a lot of people aren't aware of. 22% of college students who show up for orientation, 22% of them never show up for the first day of college.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
When I found that out, I'm just wired this way. I immediately dove in and tried to find out why and what happens to all that money that was awarded to those students who never showed up. What I found out is the reason that they're not showing up is they got a better deal somewhere else, or mom and dad in the 13th hour realize, oh my goodness, we cannot afford this, and we're not going to let you go eyeball deep in debt. So what happens to those funds that were awarded? They go into a holding account for specifically students that want to transfer in the middle of the freshman year from one college to another.
Well, we have a friend who moved in their daughter. It was move-in day at university in North Carolina.
Okay.
They received an email while moving her in from another college that said full ride. They kindly accepted, moved her right out, and went and drove to another state.
That's something I'd do.
Yeah, they did it the same day.
Here, let me think about it. Okay.
Right.
I mean, because she did have a scholarship at the school in North Carolina, but it wasn't a full ride apparently, and got the full ride in the next state.
If it's the best fit for the student, I would say pack her up and move her out.
And I will tell you this: it was a PWI, and they went to a HBCU.
Wow.
It happened just like. Do you remember that story? Yeah, and it happened just like that in the same day. I remember when we called them to check on them after. They was like, "Well," because I said, "I thought y'all were going, and how did you end up?" And they told us. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
That brought up your last statement brought up. I want to expand on your question, mistakes that people make in this process. One of the biggest ones I see is parents thinking they can save money by taking their high merit student and putting them into a community college for the first 2 years, and then transferring to the 4-year university they want to attend. So I did a case study on this. I used to be a charter fishing boat captain, and I had a client that was out one day complaining about his 4-point plus GPA daughter who just had to go to St. Mary's at Notre Dame. And oh my goodness, how much it was going to cost him. And you know what? I really didn't care. I was just trying to help the guy catch fish. My kids were still pretty little then. And I just turned around and I said, so what are you going to do? And his plan, and he actually did this, he enrolled this young lady in a community college, then transferred her to St. Mary's. When he transferred her, she didn't get any scholarship money. He paid full freight.
Oh, wow.
If he had done, I went and asked him for his records to do this case study and told him what I was up to. And he said, you know what? Ignorance is bliss. I don't want to know how much I overpaid, but I do know I overpaid. So I did the case study. If he had presented that young lady to that college in her freshman year, he would have paid $17,000 a year for a $58,000 a year university.
Wow.
But what he did was he put her in community college for $9,500 per year, then transferred her to St. Mary's and paid full price. So did he save money? No way.
No.
He way overpaid. You guys, it's stuff like that keeps me up at night, and it keeps me motivated to keep doing this. My goal is to educate every family, whether or not they go forward and work with us or retain us for a fee. And you guys, I'm sure, can attest to this. Everything I do, I mean, we deliver a lot of really good information before you even retain us.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. I'm not just here to collect fees. I'm here to level the playing field and make sure every student out there that wants to go to college, trade school, tech school, does it without being taken advantage of.
That's good. Wow. Okay.
I think Felicia needs to come work for Tony.
Which was got to be my next thing, which
Chris,
I've already
you
told
are reading my
him.
mail.
Yes. Yes.
When you were telling me about Felicia, I was going to say, does she want a job?
But are you hiring?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
That's a good segue.
These opportunities. But let's break it up.
Right.
Let's break it up.
You guys, we are growing so fast. We've been just immensely blessed with what we're doing. I am always on the hunt for high school counselors, college counselors, teachers, professors that have a heart for giving these young people a leg up and helping any student who wants to go to college. There are a lot of teachers, maybe some in your audience right now listening to me, that have become disenchanted with the educational system. If you're one of those people, please reach out to me. I want to talk to you. Our counselors are, well, Chris and Carlette, you met Lori.
Yes.
Lori is
She's
a great
awesome.
example.
Yes, she
of the
is.
people I'm looking for.
She's patient.
I was about to say that she's very patient.
She's on fire. I mean, she just has a passion for this.
She does.
She just retired from a teaching job this past year.
Wow.
She had been working part-time. Said, hey, do you have room for full-time? I said, come on now.
Right.
So listen, seriously, if you have anybody in your audience, share my email with them if you would.
Okay.
Have them send me a resume, cover letter. I would love to talk to them.
Do they have to have educational background?
They do. They need to be certified as a secondary education or early childhood development,
Okay.
or certified as a counselor.
Can they be a doctor in education?
Oh yeah.
No, that was
A PhD.
Yeah, that was a dig on a friend of ours who's listening.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. You got me thinking. Okay, so the opportunity that was placed out there, that's one thing. Talk about the opportunity for places like churches with educational programs. Talk about, or your local YMCA, boys club, youth groups. Talk about that.
If any of your listeners or viewers belong to a club, a church, youth group, I don't care what it is. We're all about getting this in front of as many parents of high school age students as we can. We spend a lot of marketing money to do that, but it's a lot better. Rather than give that money to my digital marketing team, I would rather donate it to those clubs. So we have a really unique fundraising program where if you bring this to your club director and they sign off on it, we'll donate a certain amount of money for every family that shows up, registers, and sits through our entire webinar. For any client that retains us as a result of that, a higher amount is donated back to that club. In the past year, we have made over $62,000 in donations to various clubs.
Wow.
And one other thing that I want to throw out there, and I'm very, very selective when I do this. I strive to do a complimentary package, full price package. For every 10 families that retain us, I pick one family that's very deserving of a complimentary package.
Wow.
So if you have people out there that are shaking their head thinking, you know what, I can't even afford $50 a month, please reach out to me. I want to meet with you. Okay. We need to talk.
Wow.
Everybody, you heard it for yourself. He's saying he wants to talk to everybody.
Everybody.
Don't let the numbers scare you.
Don't let them scare you.
He wants to talk to you. You heard him say there's an opportunity for you educators, counselors, church youth leaders, education directors. There is an opportunity for you for another stream of income.
You can work for him or you can be his client.
Either or.
Either or.
Refer people. Send him his way. I have put in the comment section his email. I have also put in the link for you to sign up so you can register for the webinar. You can listen in for your student, your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew. Then you also heard that, listen, let's start this when they're in the 10th grade for the males and 11th grade for the females. So a lot of information have been given tonight. I do need to give you one more question. Terrence put it in there. He said, is it more economical or cash friendly for the young adults who stay and attend an in-state school?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question.
He said, is it more economical or cash friendly for the young adult who stay and attend an in-state school?
Many times, no.
Wow.
That's one of those things that many people have been told over time. We look at colleges with blinders on as far as geographical location.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I meet with the parents, I think I asked you guys, how far are you willing to allow Christian to go away to school? Drive time. Many parents tell me 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So we'll look within that geographical region.
Alaska.
No.
But I haven't put anybody in Alaska yet that I know of. But I might go on the formal college tour if we do look at a college in Alaska.
Right.
I might go with it.
Right.
And bring my fishing pole, Chris.
Exactly.
So many times folks will hear that, University of Miami in Florida, if you live in Florida, that's the school to go to. Well, you have all these different programs in various states, where if you're an in-state student, they'll cover your tuition. Well, that's great. But if it's a $40,000 a year school, tuition is 20 grand of that. What are you going to do about the other 20 grand? I have literally seen parents walk away from an in-state school. For instance, I have a family in Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh, wow. That's what
they were going to do
lives.
just that. Mm-hmm. We got their son a full ride to University of Alabama.
Oh.
Guess what happened?
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
He's at Alabama.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
And you guys know it hurts me to say Roll Tide because I'm a Michigan State fan.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Wow. All right. So we've answered all my questions. Again, everybody, I want to say thank you for submitting your questions and your comments. His email is in the comments. I will paste it again. I just did it again. Also, the link is there for you to sign up for your own setup. You can sign up and register for the webinar. He wants to talk to everybody. Do not run because of numbers. Matter of fact, don't like he put blinders on about location. You put blinders on about that price. Register for the webinar. Take the time, set up, because they gift you. Am I right, Tony? You go through that 90 minutes. They gift you a personal one-on-one consultation, 1 hour free, to talk further about your situation and how you all can work it out. Don't run. Pass this information on, just like we did with you all. We told you you all were going to take this journey with us as we get our son prepared for college, and we're sharing this with you all. As we meet, we share, and this was the best thing. I will say this. I don't know if I shared this with Tony, but I have shared this with a couple other people. Before I met him, before my consultation and everything, that the day before that morning in prayer, I just asked God, I said, Lord, I don't want to be overwhelmed. This is a lot. And I said, I need Christian's open door. That's exactly what I prayed. I didn't plead. Wow. I requested. The Bible tells us to do that. And I did that. And I promise you, my appointment was the next day. And then within 10 minutes, it was just like, oh, this is so needed. So I tell everybody, sign up for this to go through the 90-minute webinar. I was listening to it and cleaning up at the same time. Okay. What I'm saying is you keep it moving, you do what you got to do, but I sacrificed that and then signed up for my 1 hour consultation for me and my husband, and did it while I was, taking care of other business. So let me just tell you all, invest in your children, invest in your legacy. We've given you something. We told you this is Chris and Carlette Live, Life's Interruptions, the good, bad, and indifferent. This is a good interruption. And we said we're going to always bring solutions to you all. And hey, we brought it to you. Make the appointment. Any last words?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm doing this as, to your point, Carlette, I believe I was called to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's my way of paying it forward.
Mm.
I've had 3 very, very successful careers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll share with you, this is the best job I've ever worked.
That's good.
I'm not kidding you. I mean, you guys, you've heard of the Sunday evening blues?
Yes.
I don't get those anymore.
Oh.
I get the Monday morning jump out of bed and sprint. I can't wait
Wow.
to get started. So I hope your listeners will reach out to me. And to your point, I don't care how much money you make, as little or as much as you make. I want to help every single family get this done the right way without going eyeball deep in debt.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
Well, everybody, you heard it here. Again, I just posted again his email in the comments, as well as the link for you to register for the webinar. And do it. Do it. Don't waste. Don't procrastinate. You know, when we did our call with him yesterday, our test run, I said I wanted the link so I can put it in the comments so all they have to do is click. I don't want any excuses, or I don't want to be able to say, okay, write this down and you make a mistake. No, click the link. No excuses, guys. We brought it to you, to your fingertips. So
Carlette, I did think of a couple of other things that I want to bring up.
Yes, go ahead.
We were talking about the best time to enroll a student.
Yes.
You may have viewers and listeners out there listening to us that already have a senior.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, I will still meet with them up until November 15th.
Okay.
After that, if they have a younger sibling
Mm-hmm.
that we can enroll, I'll go ahead and enroll the younger sibling and take care of the senior.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
if you have a senior at home and that's your last child, and you come to me after November 15th, I'm going to help you as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to, I can't charge a fee because, well, as I told you guys when we met, we're very selective in who we bring on.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, any family that I talk to, I'm trying to determine, do they need help? I'm trying to determine, can I help them and how much? And do they know they need help?
Mm.
And can I help them enough to justify the fee that we're collecting?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer to any of those is no, then I'm not going to collect a fee. I can't in good conscience do that. But if you have a family listening that has a senior right now, you need to call me and we need to get you scheduled so that we still have time to get that senior help. So if you've already passed that prime time that we like to enroll the student, don't not call me. You need to call me because we can still get them caught up if they're behind.
Mm-hmm.
We still have time to do that. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Every day is vital. That's why Christian has something he has to do every day. And they already have that. I saw he put it in the family calendar, the next meeting with Lori, but it's stuff he has to do before he meets with her. They're actually working on his essay now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
they're flying.
Yeah, they are doing it. They did the essay outline yesterday. And so
Excellent.
He's working on that on their the shared drive so she can see and so it's going to be strong and cuz we about to start hitting submit on some things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, would you share with Christian that I am very, very proud of his progress?
I will do that. I will definitely do
Thank
that. I
Thank
will
you.
definitely do that.
Good.
All right. Was there anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having
All
me
right.
on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. And again, everybody, the links are in the comments.
Yep. All right.
good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you. We'll
Thank
call you
you.
after
Have a
the
good
show.
night.
All
We're
right.
going to call you after the show.
All right. God bless
All
you.
right. You
Bless
too.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. That was awesome.
That was good.
I hope people take advantage of
Yeah.
this opportunity.
This is great. They need to share this. Share this. You will be able to watch the replay of this. It's going to stay in the comments section on our page under this show that you can go back and you can click on it and everything, but share it. It does not make sense not to utilize this. It does not. Do not. He gave you every reason not to it was no reason not to talk. He wants to have the conversation. How can I help you? I can meet you wherever you are. It's basically what he was saying. He's like, this is my life's work. I've been called to do this. Came out of retirement to do this.
Hey, you got an important show coming up.
Yes, I do. Canning with Carlette. Going to have class number 5. We're going to be canning applesauce, and I'm going to be baking. So it's going to be canning and baking with Carlette on October I can't see the date.
I didn't put the date on there, but just look on your phone.
Okay, October 16th. It just came back to me.
Yes.
October 16th.
October 16th.
At 10:30 Eastern. That's a Saturday. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, 9:30 Central. Canning with Carlette. We're gonna be doing applesauce, and then yes, our book is still available. Life'sInterruptions.com. Our story of when I was diagnosed and treated for breast cancer, but from not only my perspective, but from the spouse's. The caregiver's perspective, the male perspective in this, and just what God did in his hand on our lives and through this process, and how we, it pushed us to further purpose.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for all that. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Meet us again next Monday evening.
We're supposed to have a book reading thing, but
we're going to get to that.
We're going to
get, but it's going to be in October because what is that? That's breast cancer awareness. That
awareness
just fits the
month.
book. And again, if you don't have the book, join us. And of course, the roundtable will be a discussion with the people about the book who have already read the book. They have commented. They've telling us they didn't cry, they didn't laugh. It was a wonderful. They helped them understand our story and who we are and what we've been doing. So I thank you all. And listen, this was wonderful. I just want to thank Mr. Tony Devecht again.
Can I get a word in?
Yes. Okay, stop.
This is the Carlette live show.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You made
Come
me
on.
forget what I was about to say.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
You said, "Can I get a?" See, that lets you know you shouldn't have did all that. You should just went right into it.
What was I about to say?
I don't know, but I'm sure it was good.
Yeah, it was good. But anyway,
Okay.
thank you all for tuning in. We look for that's what it was. Men, make sure you get your prostate checked. This is prostate awareness, not prostrate.
That's laying out.
Prostate, PORSTATE awareness month. Recent friend of mine was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. So we'll be praying for him. But make sure you go out and get your PSA and your DRE, your digital rectal exam done. And with the breast, you got to get your breast mammograms.
Mammogram. And if you don't have insurance, there's a lot of people in the month of October will be doing free screenings. So look at your local health departments, other organizations. They'll be advertising. October is going to be real pink, just so you know. Check out the Susan Komen, check out Sharon Bassett organizations, and like I said, your local health department. Even our cousin down in Texas, the Champion organization in Texas. So, yeah.
All right. Any last words?
Listen, I keep telling y'all every week, keep praying, keep stay before the Lord and keep praying and talking to him, keeping that open communication line, open communication, open with the Lord, and keep praying. I love you all. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And quarantine if you get sick. Just saying.
All right.
Social distance.
Yep.
And keep praying.
Yes, keep praying.
Okay.
All right.
See y'all next week.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us this week on Chris and Carlette Live. Make sure to visit our website, chrisandcarlette.com. If you're on Facebook, share this broadcast. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our show. You may also find us on Apple Podcast, where you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Let us stay in contact with you by texting CNC Live to 474747. That's CNC Live to 474747.
CNC Live.